Our next guest is an Emmy-winning actor you know from shows such as Bloodline and Secret Invasion, as well as films like Ready Player One and Darkest Hour. He stars in The New Look, which premieres February 14th on Apple TV+. Let's take a look.
All I ever wanted to do is design the most beautiful women's clothing that ever existed.
With your first collection in 1947, you helped humanity find beauty and the desire to live again after the horrors of World War II.
Ooh, is that what they're teaching you?
Please welcome back to the show our friend Ben Mendelsohn, everybody. Ben, you have... What do you have?
Well, I listen to you, you know, I listen to you, so I have an orange.
Okay.
Because this is the origin story of Christian Dior.
Oh, wow.
Brought to you by the Apple. So,
All right. Oh, so it's on
that's
Apple.
what time it is.
Oh,
you
my
know?
God. Look at this. You are one of Australia's greatest prop comics.
There it is. There it is. I'm wasted. I'm wasted on something.
I am so happy you're here.
Me too.
This is a wonderful show. I've watched the first episode. This is not just about Christian Dior, but this is about the Nazi occupation of Paris. This is a thriller. It is also about fashion. And you're absolutely wonderful in it.
Thank you kindly. I did Bloodline, and the same creator was making pizza at my place, and he said, I've read Christian Dior's autobiography. He told me two things, and I went, when can we do it? And I waited for 5 years, hanging on, holding on, hoping we'd get to do it. And I think it's really wonderful.
Do you often have people make pizza when they come to your house?
Only Todd Kessler. He's the only one that's allowed. Let me just remove this.
Now, how much did you know? Oh. Wait, is that why you had them?
I love Apple. I love Apple. And Apple TV Plus, ooh, boy, oh boy.
All right, try to sit still. Did you know much about this part of Christian Dior or any part of Christian Dior?
No, I didn't. I had, I mean, I know it as like walking down the street and there's that and there's that. But to you know, to go back and to discover what this incredible person did and what he went through was, I mean, it's awesome. It's a wonderful story. It's very different than I think people are going to expect. It's not about fashion. It's not about the war. It's not really about any of that stuff. It's about how do you get through life when you think, you know, that you're this type of person and this, and you have these values, and then bam, you hit reality. You must adjust, and it's really. It's a thriller.
It is. That was the part that really surprised me about it, was how engaging it was on that level, because I was fascinated by the history of him in fashion, but I did not realize this incredible chapter of his life.
Yeah, and Adam Kessler is such a master storyteller that, you know, it's, you know, look, first and foremost, it's incredibly entertaining, and I just, you know, I thank my lucky stars. We have the incredible Juliette Binoche.
Juliette Binoche as Coco
As
Chanel.
Coco Chanel.
That's got to be the dream, right?
I mean, it was the oh please, and we got it. The awesome Maisie Williams.
Yes, Game of Thrones.
Catherine Dior,
yeah.
Who is absolutely, give it up for Maisie. Give it up for Maisie.
And then an unknown named John Malkovich getting his start.
Yeah, and he was a great find. He was a really good find
You probably
for
knew,
us.
did you know right in the audition?
I thought he was interesting. There were some other people we were thinking of, but finally, John just had that je ne sais quoi.
He does have it, yeah.
He is the hardest work, now that Mr. Brown has left, right? He is the hardest working man in show business.
Yes, he is.
He is working, like, on plays, on this, on that, operas. all over Europe. Like he's like,
And, you know, I haven't spent a lot of time with John. He never looks like he's working at all. He's very calm, and that's a lovely thing to be with, is somebody who is putting their heart into something, but nothing comes off, no anxiety comes off.
no, he's a remarkable person, absolutely remarkable. He's got a brain the size of Atlanta. You know,
Yeah.
he's incredible.
You-
Keeps it in there.
You mentioned Juliette Binoche. I was saying backstage, I almost can't believe she hasn't already played Coco Chanel. It's such a nice fit.
Yeah.
Now, don't take this the wrong way. You have played some of my favorite dirtbags in cinema.
Oh, I take that's a wonderful. Look, I've got an apple and an orange behind me.
Yeah.
You know,
Even when you're wearing a beautiful suit, it's like, well, he is sitting on fruit.
it's a dirty job. Someone has to do
Dirty
it.
job. But this, I mean, I will genuinely say, I was so interested when I saw that you were playing Dior, because it wouldn't have been a natural fit.
No, it's not. It's not. But that's the thing. If you know me, then as Adam does, and he goes, no, you can do that. You have significant anxiety and self-loathing. You're going to be fine. No.
The French accent, though, is wonderful.
Well, you've got to, I mean, either attempt it or get off the mic, you know, as Rakim would say. Oh, actually, no, I got that wrong. EPMD say that.
Oh, that's very good. Thanks for getting your rap
Yeah,
quotes
no, I
correct.
have to. I have to. I'm in New York City.
Yeah,
you know,
we got a lot of hip-hop enthusiasts.
I bow
Let us
down,
know
I
in the
bow
YouTube
down.
comments if you got it wrong. So I'm glad you got it right.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right, and that's off the album Strictly Business, and that is in fact the title track.
We mentioned your French accent, and you actually lived in Germany. I just assumed your whole life you were in Australia, but why were you in Germany as a kid?
Because my dad's a genius.
Is he really?
Yeah, he
You're not
is.
just making this up.
No, he's kind of all that in his little zone. He's got a Nobel, you know. He's
Wait, what?
doesn't your dad have a Nobel? I mean, like, you know, like.
Does he really have a Nobel?
Yeah.
In what?
You know, like in like just in peace things and whatnot, like you know.
Oh, they were just like, yours isn't labeled. You could just have a Nobel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, there are
Did
two.
he get it out of the back of a van?
Well, he is my dad. You know, I did learn this from somewhere. You know.
So you were really there because of, was he a scientist?
Yes, he's
Okay.
a scientist.
Wow.
You know, and he calls it an Alfred, too, you know, because it's an Alfred and an Oscar. You know what I mean?
Oh, so he doesn't.
Alfred Nobel, you know?
Yeah, of course.
You get it, yeah.
That's how you know if it's a real Nobel, is when they're so cool they don't even call it a Nobel.
Yeah, that's not even a Nobel, it's Alfred.
They're like,
you know?
honey, have you seen my Alfred?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I think, what, Fred? And his name's Fred,
Oh,
too, so
Fred.
it's very
Oh,
destined.
Your
you know?
dad's a Fred? And
Yeah,
he's got
my
an
dad's
Alfred.
Fred, so
he's
now
probably
he's
one
Alfred.
of the few
He's
Freds
Alfredo
with an Alfred.
Fred. Yeah. I have an apple and an orange behind me. Did I mention that?
So when you came back, how old were you when you left Germany and went back to Australia?
Oh, I was like 5.
Did you have a German accent?
Oh, I had a thick German accent.
you really?
Yeah, I had a thick German accent, and I had this clothes on, which was like a pseudo lederhosen, right? And I was quite a big chap, you know. So I got in there, and school was already on. They brought me into the school, and then one of the Australians, right? One of them goes, "Ha ha ha! You look like you're pregnant, mate." And then I clung to the teacher, like, you know, like this, and then the teacher pushed me off, and then in 2 days, me and my brother, we were talking like, "Yeah, mate, what are you on?" And we never ever spoke German again or anything, because it's a bracing. Oh, Australia will brace you.
Yeah.
Bracing.
Animal Kingdom is one of my favorite pieces of Australian cinema. And I think it's when I first laid eyes on you. But there was an era of time where I feel like Australia was this very exotic thing to American audiences, and we had Crocodile Dundee.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, there was almost like a genre of Americans making movies about Australians. And there was one called Quigley Down Under. Quigley Down Under. And I can't believe it. Just because it came out so long ago, and you were in Quigley Down Under.
I was in Quigley Down
With
Under.
Tom Selleck. There you are. You're a young man there pointing a gun at Tom Selleck. Probably didn't go well for you.
Look, I don't. No, spoiler alert, but you know, it didn't. I mean, it didn't. And actually, I was so charming that they actually had to have this discussion as to whether or not to, you know, bam, bam.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so great.
Yeah, well, it ended up bam, bam, so I don't know how great it went. You know, I think I could have done better.
Was that a weird time to be an actor in Australia when you realized, oh, they're going to make a big American movie here? And I would imagine to some degree it was Australian. What felt to you to be like Australian stereotypes?
Well, it's kind of weird because we were all Irish then because it's super early. So I have a very poor Irish accent. That's when I started to learn you better get with this fellow or you're going to be gone. But yeah, so we were Irish, recently arrived, etc., etc.
So you got away with it. And then this is, you talk about unrecognizable. Like you stretched even more than you did for Dior here. You're in Secret Invasion.
Oh no, trust me, I've never stretched more than I have tonight. But, you know, that was a stretch as well, you know?
I'm really worried, based on how well this has gone, that all our guests are going to sit on fruit.
Yeah, but none will do it like I did it.
I think that's safe.
Oh, there'll be a lot of actors out there saying that could have been me, that should have been me there. You know? Where's
Hey,
the, you know?
I am so happy to have you back, and I hope this goes without saying, please do bring those with you when you leave. Ben Mendelsohn, everybody! The New Look, it's fantastic. Premieres February 14th on Apple TV+. We'll be right back with more Late Night.